I am having a really hard time starting these videos, so I'm just gonna start. I have been wanting to make a vlog since I was a little kid, and I always wanted to be a vlogger and, you know, film my amazing life and be able to have things that I could watch back and remember, like the little moments, the great moments, any experiences and any adventures I had. But I never had the confidence, for one, to do it. And two, I never felt like I had adventures or real adventures that were worthy of filming, that I wouldn't just be able to remember in my head. But I'm doing it now. So these videos I wanted to create to document my study abroad experience at HKUST and being in Hong Kong and living abroad for 4 months, and for the most part being abroad for the first time in my life. So that's what these are. And it's the week before my mom and I fly out. My mom is spending the week with me to help me settle in. She's also going to be able to meet one of her friends that she hasn't seen in over 20 years. So she's really excited about that. She's going to go see her old village. She didn't want to take me because she said it would be boring and I wouldn't understand anything and I wouldn't know anyone, so it wouldn't be interesting, apparently, which it's fine. I would like to, but there's not enough time. On top of that, it's been a lot of planning, running errands, not quite packing yet, but figuring out what we do need to take and what we don't. My mom has a theory that we need to buy everything here. Everything in the United States is cheaper than Hong Kong. Don't spend any money in Hong Kong if I don't have to. Just spend money on food and that's it. So we've been running around. I've been going to TJ Maxx and Ross and Kohl's and trying to pick up little bits and bobs. Like, I've been looking for sandals. I went to the outlets to get a new rain jacket. I'm still looking for sandals. There's that, and then there's like worrying about the protests that are going on. I think about 2 weeks ago, the protesters took over the airport and shut it down for a full day. A couple weeks before that, the protesters took over the trains. And more recently, I heard teachers were joining the protests as well. We got an email from the dean of UST, or at least the business school at UST, saying that it should be fine, like school is running normally. The school is also 30 minutes away from downtown Hong Kong, so we're pretty isolated. But my dad especially is still really worried. My mom has told me I'm not allowed to drink while I'm abroad, in addition to not buy any clothes. She also told me I'm not allowed to go to the night markets and buy food on the streets, because who knows what kind of food is in it. They don't have FDA there is her main reason. So she's like, they could have pesticides and they could be fake food. My parents have been going off about like China having fake food for years. So I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna follow all of her rules. 5 days until we leave, and this is all the food we're planning on packing. Between packing, I hung out with some friends. Here's a little clip of the last night. And then it was on to the flight. Although we're smiling here, getting onto this flight was so chaotic. But we finally made it after 16 hours.
The local time now is 20 minutes to 7 in the...
So my mom's childhood best friend actually surprised my mom and I at the airport and picked us up with one of my mom's other elementary school classmates. They took us to old Hong Kong and took us like grocery shopping. I got a phone SIM card, and the very first thing my mom did was get a durian, which is one of her favorite fruits. They have it in America, but they're never fresh, they're only frozen, so she had to get one, obviously. Here's a little clip of us at a Cha Cha Tang, which is like a Hong Kong cafe. This was my very first bus ride. The buses in Hong Kong are double-decker like the ones in London. And my mom decided to tell the bus driver our whole life story and adventure and why we were in Hong Kong. So on move-in day, my mom was craving juk or congee, so we got fish ones, which tasted pretty good. We also passed by these huge ducks, so I had to take a picture. This taxi driver had like 4 phones, so that was crazy. And this is on the way to school. This is what my dorm room looks like. We have a sink, a mirror, side of my bed, my mom, there's a little fish pool. Out here, honey. Out here. And then over there you can see the ocean. And the field. Look at this big ass bug my mom and I found. It's bigger than your hand. We went to a sushi buffet for dinner. The food was good, but the service was okay. So my mom and I haven't had the best time sleeping or waking up, so we ended up waking up at 6 in the morning and headed our way over to Victoria Peak. However, we kind of went through a construction zone where we weren't supposed to go. Well, we eventually made it to the peak, and it was raining and not quite open yet, so we hung out around the paths that were nearby for about 2 hours and went to the little coffee bar that was inside the weird shopping mall. But the views were amazing, even though it was pretty foggy. So my taxi driver is outside. We're waiting for a bus and some kind of mixer. So I'm using photo booth to film this part, which is weird. But after visiting Victoria Peak, my mom and I went to dim sum, which was really disappointing. They had 3 things on their menu, and then because my mom doesn't want me to eat pork, I ate like 2 things. I ate chang fun and ham soy gok. The chang fun was really good. It tasted really fresh, and the ham soy gok was fine, but I wasn't that hungry, so it was okay. And then after dim sum, my mom and I parted ways as she's off on her own little adventure in mainland China to visit her old village and her old village ladies, as she always says. And I went off to orientation and to sleep in my room for the first time. Today is September 1st, the last day before classes. I got all my classes that I wanted, which is amazing. I have 3 information system classes and 1 management class and 1 musical theater class, which I have missed. I've missed doing like theater and acting and just having something fun to look forward to. That's not just studying and memorizing and presenting business plans and being a business student, essentially. So tomorrow I don't have too hard of a day. I only have 1 class that starts at 9 in the morning, which isn't too bad. And then the rest of the week, it's for the most part 2 classes a day. They're pretty spread out too. And then I only have 1 class on Friday, which is a class that I'm kind of looking forward to. It's a business simulation class, so it's about making decisions. So that's cool. And then the management class I'm taking is about negotiations as well, so that I'm looking forward to like learn how to, like, little tactics, and I think it's going to take me back to public speaking in high school and like just doing debate stuff. But I'll give you guys an update later on that. Today I'm going to go around campus and try to find where all my classes are. I think I'll film a little bit and just give a little tour of campus, and I'll put that in like a separate video if people aren't interested in that. Also, this video is getting to be about 10 minutes, so I want to keep it short.
So yeah, overall, my week has been fine. So the school set us up with one student that actually goes to HKUST. So my buddy's name is Karan, and he took me and his friend and his friend's buddy, and we went to a place called Stanley, which is like a nice beach area in Hong Kong, which is like one of the nicest beaches. And they have like a little, like a street market there. It's similar to what's called the ladies market, I think, but it's a lot smaller. It's very touristy. It's kind of like a flea market where there's a bunch of tents and they just have a bunch of items that you can purchase. So we walked around there. It was a really nice day. It was nice and sunny. And then it just started pouring rain, like out in the middle of nowhere for about like 5-10 minutes, and then it just disappeared again. Apparently, the weather in Hong Kong is crazy, and you can never trust like the weather app. Yeah, and then I was supposed to go out last night, but I fell asleep at around midnight because I think I'm still a little, like a tiny bit jet lagged, definitely still tired, and then like just there's so many new things that are going on, it's kind of exhausting me. But otherwise, this week has been good. It was a little sad saying goodbye to my mom, but I'll see her on Friday of next week. And I'm still getting used to everything. Everything here is still very, very like Cantonese. Like, oh, there's Chinese everywhere. A lot of people will prefer to speak Cantonese instead of English, which I heard like you can survive on English, and I can, but I've definitely been speaking a lot more Cantonese here than I have ever done in my whole life, and hopefully by the end of the semester I'll learn a lot more and be able to speak it a lot more at home, which is like kind of partly why I wanted to come here, is to improve just speaking a different language. So there's that. I had fun filming these videos. I don't know how busy I'll be in the future, but I plan on continuing this. Like, tell me if you guys enjoy it, text me. So that's the end of week 1. It's been a very sweaty and humid experience, but it's going great. I still can't believe that I go to school here. I keep thinking that I'll wake up back at home or in Boston and just be going to school like normal, but nope, I'm here. Let me know if you guys want to see anything, if you want me to film like specific parts of the campus or talk about something a bit more in depth. Obviously, text me, email me, just reach out to me. I'm always here. Okay, bye!